Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now, I know I promised you the next video you'd see would be a let's play of the Xbox 360 version of Ghostbusters. But actually, this morning I was waiting for a package to arrive, and while I was killing some time I thought I'd have a go on the Transformers game, War for Cybertron, and I've come across a really funky, graphical glitch. It happened in a section of the game where you're being hunted by this sort of massive robot. Well, let's have a look, shall we? So here's Megatron, playing as the inimitable Megatron, and when he transforms, he goes all sort of 1990s neon. You can just see that on someone's shorts, can't you? On a beach in Miami in the 1990s. It would fit straight in with Miami Vice or something, or maybe Vice City, the GTA game. But anyway, this is actually the perfect opportunity to talk about this game. I really like it. Someone had been saying to me a few weeks ago that I should give it a go, you know, and I haven't been disappointed. In fact, I should have got this game years ago. Graphically, it's pretty cool. It's running, I think, on the Unreal Engine, might be wrong. It certainly looks very similar to to some of the assets deployed in, say, Gears of War. But the thing that has impressed me the most, though, is the way that they've merged a sort of a gritty style, I suppose, sort of hinted at in the Michael Bay movies, with the good old-fashioned G1 designs, you know. So Megatron, yes, okay, sure, he turns into a tank, which is a sort of, I suppose, a later development in the toys. But the way that all the different characters interact, the way that they're scripted, but also the way that they look, is very much G1. So, for example, where is Soundwave? There he is. Let's go and have a look at Soundwave, shall we? Oh, he's transformed. No, there he is. So Soundwave looks very much like Soundwave, the good old-fashioned Soundwave that you all know and love, not the guy who's orbiting planet Earth in a Michael Bay movie. The interaction between Megatron and Starscream is spot on, and actually this story, I don't want to give any spoilers, but actually gives an origin for Starscream and his sense of entitlement. Optimus Prime, again, perfect, voiced by the inimitable voice actor from the G1 series, and actually you get to play two campaigns, a Decepticon campaign and an Autobot campaign. So you get to see this struggle from both sides, and actually you get a sympathetic sense of the struggle from both sides. So your fellow Decepticons are actually likeable, oddly enough, when you're playing as Megatron. You'll destroy this brute guy by hitting his backpack. Is he going to blow up? So you don't actually feel as though you're playing the baddies. You know, you're playing robots who are struggling to survive, who have a sense of this, of the right side that they're on in this civil war, and in that sense, it just makes this game all the more, I suppose, true to canon, as it were. Canon Megatron, no pun intended. In fact, actually, this has been confirmed as canon. This story is set millions of years before the G1 series. If you recall, they crash land on Earth millions of years ago, hence the Dinobots, and this is set on Cybertron before they go to Earth. It all revolves around something called Dark Energon, which is a substance that Megatron wants to control and deploy so he can crash the Autobots. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving the game. The way that the robots control in robot form is very easily playable, and similar in two achievements in one video. Cool. And similar in vehicle form. Very easy to do. Now, don't let this graphical glitch put you off. This is the first time I've seen it. I've been playing this game for quite a while so far. The other great thing as well is that you can transform whenever you want. That's wonderful. I've played, for example, I don't know, I think the first Michael Bay movie had a Transformers game, which I did give a go, and it was just terrible. You couldn't transform quite so freely. the sense of, I suppose, the necessity to transform wasn't there. In this game, transformation is important. It helps you get around quicker, as it does for the characters in the cartoons and the film, the original movie. But also as well, it changes your interaction with the world. It changes your weaponry. It makes it so that actually you have to think about when you transform. Gives you tactical options, especially if you can fly as well. So when you're playing a Starscream, it really does give you some options. So it's a great game. If you haven't tried it, you really should give it a go. So here you go. This is the big bad robot who's chasing us. He's a massive Autobot called Omega Supreme, and of course Megatron isn't scared of a big problem like a Mega Supreme. And avoid these bombs. Get to the next checkpoint. Come on. Cybertron looks beautiful. I've read in some of the reviews that there's a lack of visual variety, and apparently some people marked it down for that. But actually, I don't see why. There's actually quite a lot of visual variety if you're looking for it. In the public areas up above, there are statues of Transformers, there are fountains, and there's a like a sewer section, there's a space station section. Every section looks subtly different. And of course it's not going to look dramatically different because we're talking about a sentient machine planet and its moon. So it's all going to be sort of after a style, after a certain texture. But yeah, I like it. I like the visual style. Oh, here's Starscream.
I need immediate air support. Attack Omega Supreme.
Yes. Speaking of which, there's also some great lines that have been put in here from, in particular, the movie. There's a line there, "Spare me your mockery of justice," which is in the movie when they're trapped in a very specific circumstance. I won't ruin that for you if you haven't seen the film. And in this, it's when they're in a jail situation, the Autobots are. There's also some of the classics, things like "One shall stand, one shall fall." So, in many ways, it feels like a love letter to people who grew up with the original Autobots. So, anyone who loved the G1, oh, there you go. There's a robot statue out in the middle of Cybertron. Sorry. Anyway, I've got to concentrate on this guy. Yeah, it feels very much like a love letter to anyone who grew up with the original Transformers. It's giving, I don't know, people who've only seen Michael Bay enough to feel comfortable, I suppose, in so much as the gritty style. But really, this is a G1 game. This is a pre-G1 game, in fact, and therefore, what we have is a G1 feel to it, to the humour, to the designs, and crucially to the look of the robots. Let's continue from the last checkpoint there. So, in fact, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's go back to the main menu. Okay. So let's just quickly take a look at the robots, and actually also some of the artwork while we're at it. As I say, I can't praise the game enough. The High Moon Studios have really put some thought into this. So, not settings, extras, concept art. So, here's some concept art for Iacon. And if you've ever seen the episode, I think it's actually the first episode, G1 episode, that they show elements of Iacon and the speedways and Bumblebee having to traverse. Here's Bumblebee doing what I've just been talking about from that G1 cartoon, having to traverse the speedways. It's all beautifully designed, and as I say, very much a modified style of G1. So Optimus Prime looks like Optimus Prime. His Cybertronian truck is pretty cool. Let's see, who else have we got? Bumblebee. Bumblebee is a badass. In the game, when the cartoon is meant to be a bit of a badass, but in the game he's really good. I highly recommend playing as Bumblebee. And then Ratchet, who is cool because he actually heals you. He'll try and heal you if you stand still for long enough at certain points. So that's, let's see, Decepticon leaders, Megatron. Looking very much like Megatron. There's his tank form. It's beautiful, beautiful design. And as I say, if you like G1, you're gonna like this game. Starscream. Again, the design's been handled so well because he looks like G1 Starscream, but then he transforms into this sort of Cybertronian jet thing. And Thundercracker and Skywarp, his lieutenants, I suppose, are really cool. The banter between the three of them is perfect. Soundwave, spot on, absolutely spot on. He transforms into a car, but also at one point in this game he's sort of like a stereo system as well. So they hint at the fact that he will become a cassette player in the G1 cartoon. Let's have a look. Oh no, always looked at that. Weapons and props. Yeah, the gun loadouts are pretty cool actually. Every gun is you can have 2 guns at a time, and one of them is swappable, so you can drop and swap it for another gun. And depending on which robot picks it up, the colour scheme changes. So these are actually the designs of the guns, but say on Bumblebee they'll have a yellow colour scheme. The metal will change colour. On Optimus it'll turn red, this kind of thing. Here's the Autobots and Decepticon melee weapons. Every robot has a melee weapon. And those are some of the power-ups. You've got shields, weaponry, grenades, health. They come in these boxes. They have to ideally smash with one of these weapons, the melee weapons. Dark Energon Research Facility. It's looking a bit Attack of the Clones there, isn't it? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful artwork? So yeah, if you've been on the fence about playing this game, if you've not been sure, I couldn't recommend it more. I know I just had a bit of a bomb around really on that level, but simply had to record this and show you that glitch. Quite interesting. Anyway, as I say, definitely give it a go. Transformers War for Cybertron. I'm going to pick up the sequel as well, The Fall of Cybertron, when I can. And here's hoping that these guys get around to making a third in this series, because they did make, was it the Dark of the Moon game, but that's also not very good. But these games are brilliant. I think these are actually the games that these guys want to make. So here's hoping that they make a third. Here's hoping. Anyway, guys, an unexpected video, but I simply had to share this with you. Give it a go. Definitely give it a go. Until next time, do take care. Bye bye.